Hi, I'm Jilly. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make my version of an ambrosia salad. Ambrosia salad is a fruit salad with nuts and coconut, sometimes dates. Fruit salads are perfect as a side dish for any meal, breakfast, brunch, a late lunch, or dinner. And if you don't have time to make, something like a Jello salad, then a fruit salad like this is perfect. You can make it in the morning, or you could even make it right before you're having your party. Of course, mine will be gluten-free. And because not a lot of fresh fruit is in season right now, so I'm going to be using not all of this jar of my home canned peaches. I've got one 20-ounce can of pineapple chunks that I'm draining here. I've got some strawberries, an apple, an orange. You could certainly use a can of mandarin oranges. That would be really delicious. I don't have any of those, but I do have an orange. I've got a lemon here, which will actually go for part of our dressing. Chopped up dates and nuts and coconut really go so great with fruit. So the first thing I need to do is toast my coconut. And this is half cup of really finely shredded coconut. And I'm going to toast it in my saucepan today. So we're just going to go on medium-low heat. Here on my channel, I have a video and recipe where I toast a lot of this type of coconut in the oven. If you're toasting a lot, that's the easiest way that I found to do it. But where I just have a half a cup, and I'll be using this saucepan for the dressing, I'm just going to toast it in my saucepan. You could even toast it in a frying pan. And you want to stir this pretty regularly, if not constantly. It will go from a nice golden brown to burnt really quickly. And for that matter, you don't have to toast your coconut at all. If you wanted to just dump in your coconut in with your fruit salad, it would be just as delicious. But I really like the toasted coconut in this particular salad. And of course, if you're using sweetened coconut, it will make your salad sweeter. I've not ever toasted sweetened coconut, so I don't have any advice to give you on that. I don't see why it wouldn't toast like regular coconut, but you never know. I'm going to turn my saucepan down to low. And once your coconut is as toasted as you'd like it to be, I'm going to put it right back in the bowl that I had it in to begin with. So now for the dressing. I've got most of my ingredients over here. This is a cooked salad dressing with eggs in it. And I think it's called a pineapple dressing, something like that. So in my same saucepan, I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of butter. And I turn the heat down to low. And then I do need 2 tablespoons of my reserved pineapple juice. I also need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So probably just half of this lemon. Let's see what we've got here. Make sure there's no seeds. And that looks like, there we go, the 2 tablespoons of lemon juice that I need. Oh, I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in there. I've got 1 tablespoon of honey. This would be 2 tablespoons of white sugar. I'm going to switch to my whisk. I've got 2 eggs here in this bowl. I'm going to mix up really quickly with my whisk before I dump it in. Now pour in your beaten egg and whisk constantly until it's thickened. You want this to come up to a boil, but we're not going to boil it. Now my saucepan is on low. You don't want to curdle this mixture. If by chance you do, you can strain it out after it's cooked. And it isn't just the heat that is cooking our eggs. The pineapple juice and the lemon juice are also helping to cook our eggs. Now keep in mind, if you are using canned pineapple that is in a syrup rather than juice, your dressing will also be sweeter than mine. And this is looking as thick as I want it to. Not quite up to a boil yet, and that's just fine. Turn off the heat. I've got 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And now I'm going to pour this into my casserole dish right over here. Again, if you feel like you had curdled this mixture, you could strain it out. And I like to spread it out into a pretty thin layer here, just so it cools off quicker. And I should say, that is only part of the dressing. The rest of our dressing will be some heavy cream that we whip and then we fold that mixture in. So while we're waiting for that to cool off, I can start getting all of my other things cut up and in my bowl here. There's my pineapple, and then I just need about a half a cup of chopped dates here. And I've got dates here that are already pitted, but you always want to double check. Sometimes a pit gets missed. And sometimes dates are really soft and chewy, and sometimes they're a little bit more dried out. I like the dates that are a little bit more dried out for a fruit salad. Then they kind of absorb more of the fruit juice flavor. I really like fruit and dates and nuts together. And I'm just cutting my dates into smallish pieces, that are maybe a little bit bigger than the pieces of my chopped pecans I've got. And before I forget, I want to mention Our Heritage Works. He's another YouTuber here on YouTube, and I've done a couple of different collaborations with him. He is also gluten-free. He has a lot of great recipes, and I also recently did an interview with him. He asked if he could interview me for a video for his channel. So look for that. I'll put a link to his channel below. So there is my half cup of dates. I've got 3 dates here left over. I'll just eat those as a snack. And then I've got about 8 strawberries here, 1 apple. I'm going to use probably the equivalent of 1 peach. Nothing beats a fresh peach. But if you can't get fresh peaches right now, canned peaches are a really good option, or even frozen peaches. Any frozen fruit will work in a fruit salad like this. You just need to make sure that it is well thawed and well drained. Oh, maybe 1 more piece here. There we go. And it's okay if there's a little bit of extra juice on these. Or for that matter, you could even just use a can of fruit cocktail if you wanted to. And then, just like anything, I always like it to be mostly bite-sized pieces. Things that will fit on a fork or a spoon. I would like to say that these are my very own homegrown strawberries, but here in Utah, we are still having winter. And I always like to use a variety of fruits in a fruit salad. Makes it more interesting to eat, makes it nicer to look at. There are a lot of fruit salads out there that add marshmallows in with their fruit. You could certainly do that. I won't be doing that today, but you could. There we go, all my strawberries in there. As you can see, this really is whatever quantities you like. If you've got more strawberries than anything else, put those in. And I don't even know what kind of apple this is. Whenever I buy apples at the store, I always just buy whatever apples are on sale. And I always like to have a fruit that is crunchy like an apple. My peaches are really soft. Pineapple's usually really soft. So it's nice to have the contrast of a crunchy fruit in here at the same time. And I'm not super worried about my apple turning brown. The pineapple is in there, and I'll be adding in my orange here in just a second. Get a spoon here. Stir that all together. Now you can buy the oranges that are the little, they're usually called a little cutie or something like that. Those oranges are super easy to peel, and then you could just put little segments just dropped right into your fruit salad. Or as I mentioned, a can of mandarin oranges would work great too. But use what you've got in your kitchen. These are the oranges that I've got, so here we go. Might have been easier to peel my orange first before I cut it, but this is working out all right. Make sure you don't have any seeds in your oranges. bite-sized pieces with my oranges. Don't drop it into your coconut. If you do, that's all right. This is probably the worst job I've ever done of cutting up an orange before. I think part of it was I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it, besides put it in the salad. Okay, there's all of my orange in there. Let me wash up. And now we just mix everything together. Check on my dressing mixture here. And you know what? I think I am actually going to strain out my dressing mixture. It's a little more chunky than I want it to be. And then I can show you that it really is super easy if you did curdle your mixture. And this will help cool it off faster too. Nothing to it at all. And then you just make sure to scrape the bottom of your strainer here. Okay, there we go. And now it's a lot easier to see that there's really not very much of it here. It's not cool enough yet to mix with heavy cream, but it will cool off faster being in this bowl. So now I'm just going to start mixing together the rest of my ingredients. Clean all of this up. Don't throw away the rest of this pineapple juice. Any kind of fruit juice like this is delicious with so many different things. If you're going to make, some breakfast oatmeal or some kind of breakfast cereal, use this instead of water. It adds so much delicious flavor to your breakfast. Or if you'd buy plain unflavored yogurt like me, you could always stir in some of your fruit juice. That's always delicious. Or just drink it. You could just drink it for a glass of juice. So now I'm just going to add in my other ingredients here. In goes my half cup of dates. Half cup of toasted chopped pecans. There goes our half cup of toasted coconut. Now if I had some green grapes or kiwi, that would make my fruit salad a little more colorful. Oh, if I had some blueberries, that would be perfect. But this still looks really nice. And now that I said blueberries, I wish I had gotten some blueberries at the store. That's all right. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and just let that kind of hang out. I'm going to get everything cleaned up, and then our dressing mixture should be chilled enough that we can start whipping our heavy cream. So this is 3/4 cup of heavy cream. And you want it to be stiff peaks that you've beaten it to. And then we've got our cooled off pineapple, lemon juice, egg mixture here. I'm going to take 1 spoonful and really stir it in to my whipped cream just to get it mixed around a little bit, and then I'll fold in the rest of it. I did not add anything to my whipped cream. I didn't add any honey. I didn't add any vanilla because those things are already in our cooked custard mixture here. Now you can see why you want this mixture to be cooled off completely. If it's still warm, it will deflate all of the cream that you've just whipped. And then just gently fold it in. With any kind of dressing like this or fruit salad like this, they really don't last too terribly long in the fridge, especially whipped cream mixed with fruit. You'll notice it does get a little bit weepy, but when you mix your whipped cream with something else, kind of like this, where it's kind of a cooked mixture, it does stabilize the whipped cream and it does last longer. There we go. That is all mixed in. So now bring back your fruit, and I'm going to switch to my spatula here, and then just pour on your dressing and start stirring it in. It really is nothing fancy at all, but it feels like a fancier fruit salad than just a big bowl of fruit. Which again, I love a big bowl of fruit, but when you're having a holiday party, something like Easter maybe, today is Easter for that matter, it just makes a fruit salad feel a little bit fancier to go with your holiday dinner, or brunch, or lunch, whatever you're having your meal for. And I will say, this almost has a little bit of a tropical feel to it with the coconut and the pineapple. Now this bowl, it does look nice enough for serving. It's always nice to have some kind of clear dish. Then you can really see what's in here. Use whatever pretty dish you have to put fruit salad in. And the nice thing about this is you can start eating it right now, as soon as it's ready. Of course, if you're getting this ready for your party that's later on in the afternoon or the evening, of course you'll want to cover it and then store it in the fridge. But this isn't something that needs to be made ahead of time, although you certainly can. You could have made this last night for a brunch the next morning, and it's just as delicious. So let's give it a bite. I like to try to get a little bit of everything, if you can see what everything is in here. That is so good. And you know, it's so nice to have the dates in here for a little bit of texture. Same thing with the nuts. And because I use such a fine shred of coconut, you're not getting really big chunks of coconut, but you can still tell that it's in there. My peaches and my oranges are the same color. I'm trying to make sure I'm getting one of everything. So good. And you know, the dressing, it really is delicious. It tastes like a whipped cream dressing. It's really light and airy, but it has just that little hint of the pineapple juice and the lemon juice in there. Absolutely delicious. And because we only put a small amount of honey in there, most of the sweetness is coming from the fruit and the dates. So if you're looking for some kind of fruit side dish to go along with your holiday meal, do something like this. Use your favorite fruits. You could put bananas in here, you could put grapes in here, you could put cherries. There are so many different fruits that you could add into a salad like this. And then with the dressing, you don't even have to use pineapple juice for the dressing. You could just use lemon juice and orange juice. Or if you had some frozen thawed cherries, use some cherry juice. That would, of course, give your fruit salad more of a pink tint to it. But there really are so many possibilities for a fruit salad like this, and it is delicious served with any kind of holiday meal. I always like to have a dessert for a holiday dinner, but I also like to have a fruit dish too. So this way you can have both. But this is delicious enough that you could serve this as a dessert. It's just so good. And the longer this sits, it will get sweeter because the dates will kind of lend their sweetness to everything else. Let me know what you think if you make this recipe. Maybe you already have a family recipe that is very similar to this. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions or comments, let me know, and I'll see you on the next one.